That lady disappears. In a small town in the countryside, an elderly and reclusive lady, Dona Esther, mysteriously disappears without a trace. Her absence causes unease, especially because she was known for her solid habits and strict routines. When some townspeople begin reporting strange events and visions of Dona Esther, curiosity turns to fear. At first, they think she ran away, but the dark truth that emerges reveals that her disappearance is linked to a malevolent force that has haunted the town for generations. As they investigate the mystery, a young resident named Gabriel discovers that Dona Esther's disappearance is not just a simple vanishing. She was taken by an entity that has the power to erase people from time and memory, condemning them to live in an eternal limbo. The camera moves through a deserted street in a small, quiet town. Old houses, dry trees, and a gentle breeze blow through. The sound of birds chirping is interrupted by the distant toll of a church bell. The screen darkens and the words, "A town forgotten by time," slowly appear. In places like this, some people are not just forgotten. They disappear without explanation, as if they never existed. But for those who remain, the question is not, where did they go? But rather, who took them from our world? Dona Esther, an elderly lady with white hair and dressed in simple clothes, is seen walking slowly down the street, looking toward her house. She stops at the door and enters. The camera slowly zooms in on the house, capturing the silence around it. Gabriel, 23 years old, a young man from the town, is in his room, looking out the window. He watches Dona Esther's house, which is empty. Something feels strange. The next day, as he passes by Dona Esther's house, he notices that the curtain is open, which is unusual since she always kept the windows closed. Gabriel speaks to the local shopkeeper, Dona Celeste, 50 years old, about Dona Esther's disappearance. "Gabriel, you know Dona Esther disappeared, right?" "Dona Celeste, she did, yes. No one saw anything and she didn't leave a message, but it's like she never existed. She's disappeared from everyone's memory. It's like something from another world." "Boy, I've seen things around here." Gabriel, intrigued. "Things? What do you mean by that?" Dona Celeste, looking around, lowering her voice, "You'll see, everything has a reason. And when someone disappears, they don't come back." That night, Gabriel tries to sleep, but the darkness feels more oppressive. He senses a strange presence in the house and hears footsteps from upstairs. When he goes up to investigate, he finds no one. But as he passes the hallway mirror, he briefly sees Dona Esther's reflection behind him, staring at him intensely. Gabriel, scared, turning to look behind him. "Who's there?" There is no one. He breathes a sigh of relief, but the chill down his spine persists. The next day, Gabriel finds an old diary hidden in his attic. The diary belongs to Dona Esther and is filled with notes about strange occurrences in the town, including vague references to people who disappeared over the years. Gabriel reads aloud, and the camera focuses on his increasingly worried expressions. Gabriel, reading the diary, January 23rd. "They're back, and they're not the same as before. I can't let anyone know. What I saw yesterday. They're coming for me too." He turns more pages of the diary and finds one last entry. Gabriel, reading, January 24th. "The end is near. They said I'm the last one. After me, everyone will disappear. The man from the corner. It's him. He came after me again. He will take everyone. Whoever disappears will never be remembered again." Gabriel begins to investigate further, talking to other residents of the town. Everyone seems to remember Dona Esther, but each person has a different memory. Some see her as a woman with a gentle smile, while others say she was always sad and lonely. With each new witness, the truth becomes more distorted. Gabriel then goes to the local church, where he finds the old priest, Father Antonio, 80 years old, who seems to know more than he is willing to say. "Gabriel, Father, what happened to Dona Esther? Why doesn't anyone remember her properly?" Father Antonio, looking around, hesitating, "You shouldn't meddle with certain things, my son. She knew more than she could bear. What's happening to your memory? To everyone's memory here? It's something that started long before you were born. Gabriel presses him until the priest reveals that the town is cursed, and that people's memories are erased every generation. When someone disappears, they are not only taken from the physical world, but also from the collective memory. Dona Esther was one of the last to realize this, and when she tried to warn the town, she too disappeared. Father Antonio, she will return, but not as before. And you will be next if you keep searching. Night falls again, and Gabriel feels a presence behind him. He goes to Dona Esther's house, now completely empty. Inside the house, everything is dusty and covered with cobwebs. He finds Dona Esther's chair still in front of the fireplace, as if she had just gotten up. Suddenly, he hears the sound of slow, heavy footsteps echoing down the hallway. He turns and sees Dona Esther, but she is pale with empty eyes, as if she were a shadow of herself. Dona Esther, in a weak, almost inaudible voice, "Now you see. There's no turning back. Time will erase you too, my son." Gabriel tries to run, but the doors of the house slam shut by themselves. He finds himself trapped in a cycle, where reality begins to distort. He looks into the mirror and, for the last time, watches his own reflection slowly disappear, as if he had never existed. Some towns hold nothing but memories, but when people disappear and memories vanish, it's because there's something more beneath it all, something waiting to erase everyone,